the things I want all middle school classes to really review or learn for the first time, if this is new to you, is what we do when we go seining. We've been describing this in class, and of course if you haven't seen the seine, we'll show that to you on a sunny day before we go on the trip. But when we pull it in, the first thing that we have to do is count and classify the specimens that we pull in the net. And so I'm going to do a pretend something here. Obviously I don't have a net and I don't have real life specimens from the ocean, but I have amazing collection of amazing things. Let's have a look at them. So what I'm going to do is I am going to count the following groups. I'm going to look for whelks and I'm going to look for bivalves, and then I've got a group called other. I could classify, but to keep it simple, we're just talking about other. So I have to have 3 piles. So you can all help me here. Obviously this is not a whelk. As a matter of fact, it's a magnificent piece of coral, but we've got to put him over here in the other group. Whoa, I really like this one too. This is the test of a sea urchin, but he's not a whelk or a bivalve, so we'll put you into the other. Let's see. Well, how about this one? Same thing, different kind of sea urchin over here, buddy, into my other. So what I should be doing on my paper here is going 1, 2, 3. I'm doing tally marks. Okay, well, let's get going here. Aha! What is this? It is a whelk. You know that. So we got a whelk. Okay, these ones are just beautiful. I love these tulip shells, but you know what? They're not actually whelks. They're just gastropods, so we have to put them in the other. So we've got 2 more others, and that means we do that. Okay, a whelk. Okay, so now we've got 3 whelks, and yes, we've got a whelk, so we can put this one down there. We have 4 whelks. Are you counting with me? And I like this one. This is a channeled whelk. That's beautiful. Any more whelks? Is this a whelk? This is not a whelk. What is this? This is a conch. Sorry, you have to go into the other. Okay, so let's see. What is this? This is rather stunning. This is a bivalve and it's still joined. A bivalve means it has 2 shells that close up. So now we've got a bivalve. Excellent. And this is half of a bivalve, but we're going to count it as a bivalve. So here's a bivalve, all right, in my group over here. And oh, look at all these little guys. Bivalve, bivalve. Come on, Mrs. D, keep up. All right. Okay, now you can all help me. Whelk. Okay, doke. Here's another whelk. And here's another whelk. Beautiful. All right. Good. I've done my tallying. So in your data book that you'll have, which we call an EP, which stands for an entertainment packet, you will have different categories, but this is how you record it. You're not all going to do everything. Somebody will count fish, somebody will count whelks, somebody will count shrimp, etc., so that you each have a job and you're not stressing out saying, oh, I missed one. What do you do after you've done that? Well, you tally, and then you go to the weigh and measure station. So we need a tally first. This is remarkable. We've ended up with 10 whelk. How many bivalves? 5, 10, 15, 16 bivalves, okay? And other, only 7 other. Why do we want to know this information? I'd like you all in middle school to understand that this is the precursor to real scientific collection when you get to high school, when we start to do determination of the numbers of species and the groupings of the kinds of species, where we're looking for richness and evenness. And we do very advanced mathematics when we do this. We do Shannon-Weiner data, and you'll learn how to do this using your calculators. But this is just the beginning of teaching you to observe and collect data. So I want to tell you what we do with this data. When we get to the weigh and measure station, you will notice that in your entertainment packet there will be pages that specify what this actual specimen is. So I'm going to pick the whelks. And what are we doing at the weigh and measure? Well, we're going to weigh. I don't have a scale here, so we can't do the weighing here. But I do have a measuring device, or as we call them at Living Science, an endangered species instrument. So we could do measure here. Now, it's important for you to understand that we're not just killing time, we're actually doing real, genuine ecological studies, because it means something if all of our specimens are continuously getting smaller. It means something when we start to determine the gender, if we're only getting one gender. And this is important stuff. We do send our results back to the state because we have a collector's permit. Okay, so how would we do this? Well, if I'm going to look at the whelks, this is what we would do. We would go ahead and we would measure. Now, I'm not being as accurate as you're going to have to be, because, you know, I'm kind of using just the information that I have here, and of course I'm doing it in metric, but it would appear that that one was 8.5. Okay, so I've got an 8.5, and you'll have a data sheet to actually record this on. So that's going to be specimen 1. Then on specimen 2, I'm going to measure him. Okay, got to get him to the end, and I'm coming down here, and he's measuring in at 8. So that's going to be specimen 2, right? Specimen 3. Okay, so you get the idea, right? Oh, he's coming in at 8.6. Okay, well, scientists always check their work, and when I checked my work, I did not have 10 whelks. I had 9 whelks. See, look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have recorded the measurement of each one in centimeters, and it came to a total of 54 centimeters. I have 9 specimens. I divided it by 9, and that gave me a mean, which means an average length of, you all should know your math. I want you to write that down at home, and then I want you to work out what the median is. Now, the median is the middle number. You will need to actually have an idea of what these numbers are so that you can see which is the middle number. So here's my specimens: 8.5, 8, 8.6, 6, 5.7, 4.8, 3 that's a 9, 4.8, and 3.7. I'm scribbling while I'm teaching, but you all know what my work looks like on the board. So I will give you one happy smiley face because it's kind of cute with a curly hair. Oh, and Mr. D loves it when I draw crazy legs, right? So there we go, he's happy. Does he need shoes? Would you also tell me, is there a mode, a number that occurs or reoccurs most often? I want you to use my data, practice it, and bring that sheet to school. Well, I hope you just enjoyed this. And if you're saying, well, I knew all this already, I want to remind you about something. Science and math do this. They're totally interconnected, and we can be very thankful. Right now, we're at home because of this virus. Well, statistics is what everybody is basing a lot of their information on. So let's be sure we get our statistics right, folks.